Arielle Kayabaga is a Canadian politician. She's a Liberal MP for London West, and she was born in Bujumbura, Burundi, but left with her family when she was only 11 years old as refugees to Canada. She was elected to the London City Council at the age of 27, and she was the first Black woman to do so in the history of that city. Kayabaga has also been in the country for 3 days now, where she visited the Genocide Memorial in Gisozi, the museum for the campaign against the genocide, and she has also met several politicians, including the Foreign Affairs Minister, the Deputy Secretary General of RIB. She's also here with us for an interview. Welcome, Arielle.
Thank you.
Okay, my name is Glory Idibagiza, and I'm going to be your host for today. If you could tell us about your tour to Rwanda, how has it been so far?
So far, everything has been going well. We've had really great conversations. One of the biggest things that really brought me here is to strengthen the relationships between Canada and Rwanda for a lot of reasons, and to also talk about the stories that are happening here, the successful stories that we're seeing out of Rwanda. And to continue to promote bilateral relationships between Canada and Rwanda.
So ahead of CHOGM that was just concluded, the Canadian government announced that they're going to open a High Commission office in Rwanda. Is that part of the agenda, your tour?
Well, that's been announced, and we're just a matter of time of when we're going to get the full office running. I think it's important to note that that was an effort within the government that was also led by the Rwandan community in Canada. So it just shows how much we can do when we work together.
So you met the Foreign Affairs Minister on your first day, is that correct? Would you tell us what you discussed?
Yeah, we talked about a lot of things. How the state is, and we discussed on the impact of COVID on Rwanda and Canada, and to find ways that we can learn from each other and cooperate. We talked about the war on Ukraine and the impact that it has had on both countries, and the different things that Rwanda is doing right now.
Any resolutions?
Well, there's no resolutions. The conversation had a purpose of understanding one another and figuring out ways to the needs that are between the two countries and how we can meet those gaps.
Is this your first time in Rwanda?
No, it's not my first time. I've been here before a couple times. Yeah.
Could you tell us about the previous times? Were they official visits?
They were not official visits. Like you mentioned earlier, I was born in Burundi, and Burundi is not too far from Rwanda. I think it's about a couple hours away. And as a Burundian, I have visited Rwanda in the past. We're so close in proximity that we have friends and family members who live in both countries. So that is one of the reasons why I've been here before.
Has much changed since then?
Of course, lots has changed. There's lots of development. It's beautiful. Rwanda is beautiful, and given the history of the country, I can say that the impact and the development is very impactful across the world.
So you have been vocal on the 1994 genocide against Tutsi, and you're also one of the few politicians who are not Rwandan to acknowledge the correct definition of the genocide. So now that you have visited the memorial as part of your tour, what message can you give to the world?
I think the message is there's a reason why we commemorate genocide against Tutsis, and the reason really is to make sure that it never happens again. It's so easy to say never again. It's actually much harder to walk through the path of never again. As you can see, the state of the world right now, there's a lot of wars happening. There's lots of refugees across the world, people who are displaced from their homes because of conflict and violence. I think the message is to really promote the success story of Rwanda, where they were 28 years ago and where we are now, 28 years later, and to sort of use that same path to replicate and to be able to see communities move forward and heal from such tragic conflicts. But also never forgetting what happened and never forgetting the voices of the people who are not able to speak for themselves today. I think it's important.
So you're only 31 years old and you have been a refugee once in your life. but yet you're flourishing in your political career, if I would say. So what can the younger people learn from you today, young people?
I think I'm not one to teach lessons, but first of all, 31 is not young. But I think I would say it's just a matter of believing in yourself. It's a matter of having a passion about the things that you want to do. I was displaced as a young child, and it's part of who I am, and it's part of what motivates me to do the work that I do. And also to do work that is community-based, and to do it out of your own heart, and to never limit yourself, to believe in yourself. And I think that is the motto that I have found in this country, is that people truly believe in themselves and they give themselves value. So being able to value yourself and being able to not be confined by the labels or by the things that have happened to you in the past, and being able to rise above that is important.
Is that the same message you would also give to the Rwandan youth today?
Yes, absolutely. I think the Rwandan youth is in a really, really good place, where a lot of them who are much younger didn't even experience the genocide, but they have to continue to learn on what happened to make sure that it never happens again. So the people who are experiencing the Rwanda of today and didn't get to experience the Rwanda of before, it can serve them as a lesson to never want to go back, and to really maintain and protect the development and the reconciliation and the path that they've really walked through, and the work that is being done here.
Okay, so the last but not least question, did you have a to-do list, and how many boxes have you ticked so far?
I didn't have a to-do list. I was very open to exploring and seeing, really learning and seeing what Rwanda's doing, and being able to share with different people here that I'm meeting on their practices and our practices, and seeing how we can continue to cooperate and once again build stronger relationships between the two countries.
Okay, so which visit was the most interesting for you so far?
All of them. They're all very impactful. They're all doing great things in the community. I enjoyed going to RIB, which is a one-stop shop for women and children experiencing violence, and the concept of the one-stop shop is quite amazing. I enjoyed seeing lots of women in leadership, which is quite powerful and speaks high volume. I've enjoyed the conversations that I've had with many different people, so yeah.